So recently there has been a lot of talk about slugging in Dead by Daylight, so I wanted to give my little 2 cents on it and to see why it has become such a big issue in the community and how to counter it and what the devs could do to prevent it in the future. So what is slugging? Let's start off with the basic question. Slugging is when you leave a survivor on the ground for more than, I'd say, like 30 seconds to go chase someone else and down them too, or just commit to someone else while they just leave you on the ground. So no, this does not count the killer looking for flashlight saves or for someone trying the pallet save. This is just for them downing you and then fully going the opposite way and then trying to find other people. So I've been testing this on Twitch, twitch.tv/I'm Frez, by the way, and we were finding out that there was a lot of issues with the survivors not bringing perks to counter slugging. So not many games I had actual survivors run perks that like were gonna live forever and botany knowledge stuff to just increase healing speed while people are on the ground. There was also another issue where if you were in solo queue, they did not work together very often, and sometimes people would be on a gen all the way across the map while their entire team is dead. I would say this is more of a solo queue issue because I have not had as much trouble with Swifts. They've tried to get all their teammates very quickly, and it would make me have to try a lot harder. So let's talk about stats. In about 5.5 hours of gameplay, I only lost about 3 games, and I never had one single draw where it was just 2 out and 2 dead. It was always I destroyed them or they destroyed me. There was no in between. And in the games that I did lose, it was either a Swift or it was just a team that had a lot of perks that countered slugging. Like in 2 of the games I lost, I'm pretty sure there was a We're Gonna Live Forever, which countered the entire slugging build. So what are the main issues with slugging? The main issue is that it is very boring for survivors and killer, honestly, because I was having a snooze fest half the games because it was just getting way too easy. So I just didn't have fun in general. Most of the time I was doing it, I was just talking to chat, basically vibing while people were just losing because they just didn't know how to work together. And that really stems all the problems with slugging is that many survivors just don't have fun with it, so they end up going on Twitter, ranting about it, trying to figure out a way or how to counter it, and begging the devs to get rid of it, to fix it, or to give us some sort of in-game unbreakable that's base kit instead of having the annoying option to bring perks. The main question is, what can the devs do to prevent this? Well, in my opinion, the best way to do this is after about a minute of being slugged on the ground, survivors should be able to pick themselves up and they should be able to do that 4 times a game. So make the bleed out timer maybe slightly longer, make it like 4:30 so you can have at least 4 pickups a game. This would work very similarly to the ability in the 2v8 mode, where you had to wait for your ability to be ready and then recover all the way to 99%, and then you could pick yourself up after being on the ground for a little bit. Keep in mind, this will only punish people who continue to slug people for longer than a minute. So you can obviously go around, try to harass the people who are trying to flashlight save and all that, but this is mainly just for the people who just leave them on the ground and then just leave. Yes, the most fair and balanced version of slugging, I would think, is from the 2v8 mode that they made base kit for that, which they should just make base kit for the general game because it worked out very well and prevented a lot of annoying occurrences. At the same time, I would buff killers so that when those people are on said ground, that the generators slow down by 10% like a little thanatophobia for every other survivor and to incentivize them to go help their teammate. So yes, you can either push through it or you can go help your teammate and remove said penalty. Also, this incentivizes the killer to get second objectives done because the main issue with the game right now is that there is not a second objective in the game for killer. Yes, totems are kind of a second objective. They keep trying to make chest a second objective for some reason, which no one cares for, but if you down people and it slows generators, then it'll give the survivors more reason to go help their teammates to stop the generators from regressing, thus making a new gameplay mechanic to make games longer and prevent the issue of gens getting done too quickly. And yes, this effect would stack based on how many people are down. So if you have one person down, 10%, 2, 15, 3, 20, all that. This is probably the most fair change that you could make for both killers and survivors to benefit both sides without being a complete negative for the other. So if they just like turned off slugging for all killers, and obviously that'd be a very big detriment to a lot of people who rely on that to get a lot of kills. So instead instead we will benefit both sides, and then everyone's happy then, yeah? Since this would be a new base kit thing, obviously some perks have to change. Like Unbreakable, we would make it reduce the amount of time for the cooldown of getting back up, maybe make it 30% less, so you can technically get up like double the amount in the game. So if people are really slugging to bother people, then obviously you can get up a crap ton more and they'll have to actually hook you. And then obviously you increase the recovery time and all that too on it. Boon exponential, maybe cut it in half, so if the boon is up, that you can pick up in 30 seconds instead of the normal 60. And all the other perks I would honestly keep the same. The Nick Cage perk, I think we should keep that the same, not mess with it at all. It should just pick you up the normal time, just like old DBD. Obviously, none of these numbers are official, and obviously the devs can change them however they want, but this is just an idea on how they could fix slugging and all the perks around it. So now on to my second experiment. Is slugging as toxic as people say it is? In the amount of games I had, I only got 8 things that I would consider salty, and most of them are very tame. There's only one super extreme one. The other ones are not as bad. Most of the people just complained that it was, you know, boring, unfun, oh my god, why can't you do like a normal game, blah blah blah. And after I told them I was doing an experiment thing, most of them were super chill about it, and they're like, alright, whatever, fair enough. And a lot of people, I would just tell them I was slugging because I could, and they'd be like, alright, fair enough. They'd be like, alright, fair enough, yeah, it is a viable strat. Obviously, except for like one case where some person basically told me I should have been swallowed or whatever, you know, like mom joke during sex, blah blah blah, haha, funny, yeah, funny. And then someone else made fun of my views. That was basically the only like super toxic ones. The other people were just like, why are you doing it? Why ruin everyone else's time for your own benefit? Which stems a whole other controversial thing where killers, in my opinion, are not responsible for your fun. You should make your own fun in the game unless they want to make the game fun for you. Like going around and having more personality instead of just going in for wins. So why am I talking about this? Well, there was a lot of talk about it going on for multiple years for a while now, but recently Carnivorous made a whole experiment thing where they went around and had a bunch of people go slugging, and just slugging, no hooking at all, and just see what the reaction was with that and how effective and ineffective it was. Not gonna lie, I did not watch the video, but I did see the stats, and the stats are pretty crazy. So if you want to go watch that, obviously I'll go link it down below and all that. So if you want to go watch that later, you know, or go watch it now, I don't care. So yeah, I know this video isn't going to be very happy for a lot of Survivor mains, but let's be honest, they're never going to really get rid of slugging in a way that's going to be fair for both sides. It's either going to be super Survivor sided or super killer sided. There's no really happy medium unless we discuss a way to balance it in general instead of just full out get rid of it. Yeah, get rid of it. Make everyone have Unbreakable every 10 seconds. Like, we already know how bad that PTP was. Don't give me non-flashbacks of that. So yeah, that is basically it for this whole little tangent that I've seen going pretty popular lately, and let me know what you think of it. And obviously I did finally like start editing my voice and stuff, so if it sounds bad, let me know. If it sounds good, let me know, obviously in the comments, so I can know to keep doing it. So yeah, with that, have a good day. Peace.